Okay, so there's another part to telling time. Sometimes you're asked ¿Qué hora es? And that wants to get at exactly what time it is. If someone says ¿Qué hora es? To you, you look at your watch, you'd look at your phone, and you would say, son las 10:02 de la mañana, because that's what you're giving the actual hour, right? But sometimes you want to know not what time it is, but at what time something happens. For example, in this picture, ¿a qué hora es el concierto? Es a las 9 de la noche. Okay, so he doesn't want to know what time it is because you can already see that it's past 9. He wants to know what time is the concert. He's running late. So when you ask someone at what time something occurs, you're going to use, well, hold on one minute. Okay, so when you want to know at what time something occurs, the question is ¿a qué hora? ¿A qué hora, I don't know, empieza la clase de español? Or ¿a qué hora llegas a casa después de las clases? Or ¿a qué hora empieza empieza Riverdale, or whatever show you're watching on TV. So the question, you'll ask ¿a qué hora? Well, here, I'll just write it down here. You'll ask ¿a qué hora? And then list whatever it is that you want to know at what time it begins. And the response to that question is going to be a la una or a las dos, a las tres. So for any other time, you're going to use a las, and for 1 o'clock, you're going to use a la. And then you just use the times exactly the same way that you did when telling time. So for example, ¿a qué hora empieza la clase de español? Maybe it's at 1:15. I'd say a la 1:15 or 15 de la tarde. Or maybe when do you arrive home after classes? A las 2:00 I don't know, a las 2:30 de la tarde. Or, when does Riverdale start? A las 9 de la noche. Okay, so you'll answer it. The rest of the pieces that you add are the same as what you do when telling time. You could even use an en punto, a las 9 en punto de la noche. Okay? Okay, so if you're being asked these questions, at what time do you get up? You would say, you just keep on going. So me levanto, then you would say at what time you get up. And because it's not what time it is, it's I get up at a particular time. I'm going to say like a las, I don't know, 5:30 de la mañana. Okay. Trabajo. When do you work? I work at 8 in the morning. A las 8 de la mañana. At what time do you study? Estudio. Now here is where you can, I don't know if you study at a particular time. If you study at a particular time, you would put the a. So like if I study at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to say a las 3 de la tarde. But if I just study in the afternoon, this is when you could use that por. Estudio por la tarde. Okay? So there you would switch to por because you're just making a generalized statement, like I study in the afternoons, not a specific time. Estoy en clase, I don't know, a las 9:15, or maybe a las 9, yeah, 9, no, let's do 10. 10:15 de la mañana. Maybe it's a Tuesday, Thursday class. Estoy en casa. When do you get back home? Well, for me, I'm really busy with my kids, so I might say estoy en casa a las 8:30 de la noche. And estoy en la cafetería de la universidad. When do you go eat lunch? Maybe al mediodía. So I could say al mediodía. Or if you did something at midnight, you could say a la medianoche. Or I could just go back and say, you know, a las 12 de la tarde. Okay? Okay? Or here's another activity. If someone asks you, like this is somebody's school schedule. So maybe a parent or a friend wanted to know, maybe this is Maria's school schedule, and her mom's talking to her guidance counselor, and she wants to know when Maria has all these activities. So the mom says, ¿A qué hora es? Maybe like Maria's disorganized and she's not getting all her work done, so her mom's stepping in and she wants to help her daughter be more successful in school. So she says, ¿A qué hora es la clase de historia? Then the school counselor would say, a las 8 de la mañana, right? And the mom says, ¿A qué hora es la clase de arte? And the school counselor again would say, a las 10:30 de la mañana. And ¿a qué hora es la clase de español? Then the school counselor would say, you could either say a las 11:45 de la mañana, or I can go ahead and say it's the next hour, but because it's not quite there, I can subtract back the minutes. So a las 12 menos cuarto de la mañana. You know, ¿a qué hora es la conferencia? And the school counselor might say, a las, and now they use military time, they tell you in scheduling in Spanish-speaking countries, so you won't say the military time. If it's 13:30, then that's 1:30. So I'm going to say, a la una. It just lets me know that I'm in PM now. A la 1:30 or la 1:30 de la tarde. And here, this reunión, if the mom says, ¿A qué hora es la reunión? 14:55, it's almost 3 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and count. I could either say, son las 2:55, or I can go ahead and count up to the next hour and subtract back. So, a las 3 menos 5 de la tarde, because it's almost 5, but it's not quite, so I need to subtract back the minutes if I say that. So maybe she has a test in her history class, so ¿a qué hora es el examen? If the mom asks and the counselor says, a las, and, okay, so that's going to be 4:30, so a las 4:30 de la tarde. And then maybe she has soccer practice, so the mom says, ¿A qué hora es el partido, or I'm sorry, soccer game, ¿A qué hora es el partido de fútbol? And the counselor would say, a las, okay, so it's 5:40, so she could say a las 5:40, or she could go ahead and say it's 6 menos 20 de la tarde. Maybe the daughter or the mom wants to watch TV with her daughter, and she asks her daughter, you know, ¿A qué hora es el programa ídolo americano en la televisión? And the daughter tells her mom, a las 8, maybe we want to throw in an en punto so the mom doesn't miss the show. A las 8 en punto de la noche. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to noche because to me 8 o'clock is pretty late. I would say about 6 o'clock is when you should start switching over. But if you did put tarde, you're not technically wrong. It's still tarde is PM. Maybe her daughter wants to go to a party, so her mom says, ¿A qué hora es la fiesta? And the daughter would say, a las 9:15 de la noche. And then the mom says, ¿A qué hora es el programa de las noticias en la televisión? Maybe her daughter's coming on the news because she did something great at school. and the mom wants to watch it, and so the daughter says, she could say a medianoche, at midnight, or a las 12. Again, you could put en punto de la mañana. Okay, so hopefully that explains how to do at what time, so that you can see the difference between at what time and what time it is.